My kidney function declined when I was 13, but when it all started was when I was 10. I got a strep infection. And a lot of people don't realize that there's a certain percentage of people with strep bacteria that just lose their kidney function. And that happened to me, and that's just completely out of the blue. Being on dialysis when you are 13, it's not good at all. And when I look back at transplants, so I'll say my first one, I just look back and say it got me through high school. I had a normal, teenage years, and then sort of the next one happened right around when I was in university. So I always look at that as getting me through university. And then this transplant from my mother's was actually the most important.
I said I was going to be tested to give one of my kidneys to him. No hesitation, not at all, because I did offer at the very beginning when he was little, and I was told that they didn't want it. 14 years ago, when I donated my kidney to Justin, there was no problem. Of course, I had to be tested. In my mind, I was very positive that I would be a match, but then you don't know, right? Scientifically, you don't know. But I planned on that being a match.
Things were so bad at that time that I thought that the idea that you could become well again, it just seems so remote. And in fact, I sort of concluded, I'd come to terms with the fact that I was just going to die on dialysis. After I woke up and I had my transplant and I got out of the hospital, I don't think I slept for the first 6 months. I just why would I sleep? It's a complete waste of time. I just wanted to keep going and keep doing stuff. And
I was put in a wheelchair and pushed to his room to see him. He was already working. He's always working. So he had his computer in the ICU, and I know he was fine. I think I've always said that was one of the best things I've done in my life.
20 years ago, if you asked me if I knew somebody outside of the hospital system that had an organ transplant, I'd probably say no. You can't get to the part where somebody donates the organ if you're not talking about it. So I think that awareness, and then just having the conversation is very important. Most people think of scars as being ugly, and actually, as you mature and you get older, you don't see scars as being ugly. It's sort of it tells the whole story of your life and who you are. But when I do look at them, I will sometimes recount, like in my own head, the story of my life. What happened when, and yeah, it's like your history.
I would encourage people not only donating within families, but also to others as well. And I think the best proof is for people to see me today and say, oh my God, she is very active and she's very healthy and she only has one kidney. And if people just, all they have to do is look at me and say, hey, I can do that too.
That transplant from my mother completely changed the trajectory of our whole family. You're going from being very sick to being very well. And yeah, I mean, how can you describe that feeling to anybody unless they actually go through it themselves, right? The first thing we did was travel. The moment I got the kidney, I mean, we took probably 3 road trips and flew all over the place, and it was just the amount of freedom. But it wasn't just my own freedom I was thinking about. I was thinking of my freedom, but also my freedom with my kids. So I mean, it really wasn't just something my mom did for me, but it was something she did for my kids as well.
It's the greatest gift of life that one can give. And it's terribly, terribly important.